Have you ever tried to change a pattern, a habit, a thought, a relationship dynamic? There's something that you know that you're in the pattern and you're in this loop, and but then you found yourself right back where you started. Well, it's not because you failed, but it's because you were trying to change and potentially without real awareness. So, awareness is this missing piece, and it's not only a missing piece, but it's a foundational piece when it comes to really wanting to change yourself, right? People come to me because they are unhappy about an area of their life and they want to get to this different place. And one of the fundamental pieces I'm always having to come right back to and to teach people is about awareness. It's the foundation, it's linked with being in the present moment, these very non sexy things, but that we need to practice every day. And it's this bridge between reacting from the past and creating from the present, and also creating from what you know as your future self of who you want to be. So when you become aware, you really do start to remember who you are. So awareness isn't necessarily about analyzing yourself, but it's about witnessing what's happening in the present moment. So I often find like awareness again and present moment are these two things that I need to teach people, and they really happen side by side. So it's that quiet moment when you notice, oh, I'm holding my breath, or you start to notice that you're shrinking in a conversation, or it's when you notice that you're judging someone or you're judging yourself. So that moment that you notice is this awareness. And the instant that you become aware, you really then have a choice. And you no longer have to be trapped into the story or the pattern that's always happened. So you now become the observer, which is why I always say meditation is really important because it helps you practice being that observer. And then you can see the pattern that's happening instead of being run by it. And then that's when the shift starts to change everything. So it makes sense, right? You can't change what you can't see. And so most of what drives us is our reactions, our fears, even our choices. And I'm sure you've heard these things really lie beneath the surface. So they're in this subconscious place of the mind, or they're also unconscious. And so we're not aware that we're doing them. So awareness is like basically turning on a light in a dark room, and suddenly you can see what's been there all along. You could see the emotions that are coming up. Those are usually the most obvious to witness. Then you can see beliefs. Those sometimes are not always obvious. Sometimes we need to work with someone to reflect back to us so we can understand the hidden beliefs that are happening. And you can see the energetic patterns that are really running the show. And then basically once you see them, you have a choice. And it's really important, this piece, because oftentimes most people think that they are moving through their life and they have no choices. And the truth is that in every moment you're always choosing. You're either choosing unconsciously or you're choosing consciously. But you always have a choice on how you want to respond. Even if you mess up and, you respond in a way that you you didn't like, or that you know that you could do better, but even with the awareness at that moment, you can see for next time the choice that you have. And that's where the power lives. So each time you bring awareness to a moment that used to be automatic, then you are really rewiring your nervous system, and you're rewiring new neural pathways in your brain every time You bring awareness to a moment and you think, okay, what's happening here? How do I really want to respond? And you're actually teaching your body that it's safe to be present and it's safe to choose differently next time. So your nervous system really can't transform when it feels unsafe. So awareness helps you anchor in your body and helps anchor you into the present moment so that you can start to feel safe. Because you can feel your breath, you can feel your sensations, you can sense your heart beating. That presence sends a signal, and it sends a signal that I'm here and I'm safe. And then from safety, healing can always happen. From safety, we can make new choices. From safety, we have a higher level of awareness of who we want to be and how we want to choose next time. So, this awareness is really the doorway to basically everything you want, the healing, the love, the abundance, the peace. And so, really, we have to start here throughout the day and pause and ask, where am I right now? Right? What am I aware of right now? And this single question can really start to begin the process to start to change parts of your life that you've been looking to change. And so it's what you want to do is bring in this awareness into your life. And again, not as a critical eye of what you are doing or not doing, because we don't want to be in this critical kind of space, but we want to be in the witnessing space, the observer space. And so, if everything in our lives is a reflection of how we're being, of what's happening inside, then it's really important to be aware of what's happening inside. So, awareness is this important piece. And then the way to be in awareness is to be in the present moment. And so, I believe from what I've seen and what I've experienced, present moment is actually a practice. It's a practice to teach yourself to let me be present in this moment, to remind myself I would like to be present in this moment so I can be aware. So I am aware of what's happening right now, right here. And in some areas this can be easy, like we can practice by going on a walk and saying on this walk, okay, I'm not going to listen to anything. I won't listen to music. I won't listen to a podcast. And I'm just going to walk and I'm going to stay present through this walk. And sometimes, even if that's hard, you could say you'll do it for like a block or a portion of your walk. You are just going to stay present. You could focus on your feet and just focus like one step, one step, one step. You could focus on your breath. You could stay focused on seeing what's around you. I see a tree, I see a home, I see another person walking. So that's the practice of staying present. And then when we're in other situations where it's difficult to stay present, and I would say maybe that's when we're with family and friends and there's a lot of activity and we can get pulled into certain conversations or pulled into certain dynamics, then sometimes what it takes is kind of when it's appropriate to like pop out somewhere, maybe go to the washroom, and then come back to yourself and take a breath and remind yourself that I'm here, this is where I am, right? Connecting with your heart, connecting with your breath, and just staying in that space and reminding yourself that this is where I am. This is my awareness here. I am that I am. And then you can kind of go back into that um, environment and be a little bit more present. So really over time, this is a practice, right? It's a practice of awareness and a practice of staying present. And the two of them, I see them go hand in hand, of being aware of how you're being. And you can only be aware of how you're being if you're present, right? Because it makes sense because you can't be future tripping about something and then being able to be aware of how you're reacting or responding in a situation. And I really believe that this is the foundation of anything that you're wanting to change in your life, or anything that you're wanting to manifest, or anything that you're wanting to bring into your life. It's really important to have this awareness piece and present moment piece um, really practiced every day. Every day, remembering to come back to your heart, to come back to the present moment, to come back to who do you want to be in this moment, and to be aware of all the thoughts and feelings and words that you're always choosing to describe what you're experienced, and how you talk to people when you're texting people. You know, pay attention to what words am I choosing to describe this situation that I'm in, and is that how I want to describe how I'm feeling, or are there other words that are more empowering and not in a victim state that can describe how I'm feeling? So all of that is having this awareness, right? This awareness ultimately of who you're being. Because remember, the outside is always a reflection of what's going on inside. Everything is a mirror on some level. So it's really important to always check in and ask, okay, so where am I right now? What am I emanating right now in this moment? And then you get to choose with awareness and with present moment. So I hope that was helpful. And I'm going to try to keep bringing more videos like this that are really actually kind of part of a mindset course, mindset freedom course I did years ago. And there's these fundamental pieces in them. So I'm going to keep trying to bring them forward and put them in this style of information on this platform, and in the with the intention that it helps you on your journey. So thank you.